Buenas chicos, vamos con el quinto gameplay de Baldur's Gate 3.
Let's move. Don't mind if I
Cogemos todo
do.
lo que esté en blanco, que nos viene bien para hacer pociones. Y hablamos con Nettie.
I see you. Just give me a moment.
This may be kept.
There. It's up to her now. Life or death. Now, what was it you needed? You found her, but I still don't know what she can do for you. Come here. Let's have a look at you. You seem healthy enough. A bit tired around the eyes, maybe. A tadpole. A mind flayer tadpole. I'll do what I can. Come, follow me. I might be able to help.
You need to be quick. This way.
Something in that vessel. This one had the same problem as you. Attacked us in the woods together with some goblins. Tadpole crawled out of his head soon after. Seems so. Gave Master Halsin a right start. It's why he joined the adventurers on their expedition. To find out what was happening. A pity you got me instead of him. He understands these things. Studied them. Still, we have options. You don't have to be here for this.
I will remain. I have a vested interest in the outcome.
All right. Let's see what we can do. Of course. Now, tell me what's been happening. Any symptoms? Strange events? Victims can identify each other. Not that the others know they're victims, of course. How'd you pick up the parasite? Halsin was desperate to find where all this was happening. A mind flayer ship? But Master Halsin was sure. Look, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. You're dangerous. If you transform here, we're all dead. But you seem like a good soul. You deserve a chance to save yourself. This is a vial of wyvern poison. Swear to me, you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms. I hope it doesn't come to that, but thank you. Here. You know, I've spent my life treating folk and never once saw a mind flayer infection. Then suddenly, there's dozens of you. Maybe more. Master Halsin and I were tracking them, studying them, trying to figure out what the hells was going on. Because you should all be changing. There should be a small army of mind flayers out there. But you're not. Weird powers aside, you seem perfectly normal. Mind flayers reproduce by infecting someone with their parasite. 7 gruesome days later, the victim transforms and a new mind flayer is born. The thing in your skull, though, it's different to anything in our records. It's one of their worms for sure. But this one gives you powers. Telepathic connections. And it doesn't turn you into one of them. Not yet, anyhow. Could be, but there's a lot we don't know. Infected, folks like you, have been converging on an old temple of Selûne, and I've no idea why. When Master Halsin heard the adventurers were heading that way, he saw a chance to get answers, joined on the spot. Whatever he found there, he didn't make it back. The thing is, I've sent birds to find him, but the place is rotten with goblins. None of us can even get close. You, though, you're one of them. Technically speaking, I mean. They won't kill someone carrying their parasite. If you can find Halsin and get him out of there, we can discover what he learned. And perhaps he can save your life. How's that sound? Thank you. It would mean everything to the Grove. To me. I wish I could tell you more. But only those adventurers know what happened out there. All I can say for sure is they all went to the old temple of Selûne. And Master Halsin didn't make it back. Good luck out there. And if things start to go bad, remember the vial. Remember your oath.
One step at a time, Nettie. Come on.
Wyvern poison. Lethal stuff.
Bueno, vamos a seguir. Gay.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
Vamos a preguntar aquí al colega.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Minthara. Back at camp.
The corpse remains silent. It doesn't understand the question.
Moonrise Towers. Initiation. Druid. Bear. Scouting. Found druids.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
At least things have stayed interesting. More for me. At the ready. Never a dull moment.
I can't even see a lock to pick.
Bet I can crack that open.
I can't even see a lock to pick.
Here goes nothing.
You've been caught mid-robbery with your prize.
Perdón. Dios, siempre me pasa mucho. Paso el listo.
By Sylvanus, the old oak, all death begets life.
If you ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a knoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
Our little Hellion told us what happened. Thank you. Don't know what we'd do without her. Likewise. Arabella?
Thank you for helping me.
Un amuletito. No está mal. Esperamos, me ha dado un poco el amuletito. Vale. Vamos a hacer un par de cosas.
He stares right past you as if you're invisible. Or boring. He nods, then reaches for a concealed hatch.
Bueno, vamos a conseguir la misión para conseguir el mejor anillo del juego, que está en el acto 1. Y te lo damos.
Well, look who's come to visit. My kids say you've been busy since you got here. Mercon says you got him out of a tight spot with some harpies. Gotta say, I'm impressed.
You saved Arabella from the druids. Don't know what those bastards would have done.
And we're happy to be helped. Now, what can I do for you?
I do, as a matter of fact. Revenge.
You saw what those bastards that run the place were doing to Arabella, scaring the precious mite. I want to steal that big, shiny idol they're all chanting at. Sure, when we sell it in the city, I'll make sure you get your cut.
Be careful. They look as brittle as old bark. But they're vicious.
Anything else?
Making sure we're ready to leave when the time comes.
Elixir de sed de sangre. Fundamental.
Anything else?
You've been a friend to us. Come back anytime.
When do I get to run the rings now?
You came! I have... Here! Mole said I should thank you properly for the harpies. So I wrote you a story. It's about you. I hope you like it.
Basta. Bueno, aquí podemos hacer otra cosita.
Breathe quiet. Move with care.
Right. I've got food, water, my dagger.
Die at the end of the road. Never give up.
Stop! This place is off limits. Leave.
In a secluded place all alone. It would be too easy to do away with her, far beneath your talents.
Damn it! Was inventory today. I'm sorry. Nerves are shot after the attack. Do what you gotta do. Sorry if I don't show you around. I just fall back down. Legs are as steady as a foal's. Bloody potion! From the old lady in the cave. The one with the lotions and potions. To her credit, it worked. I'm as strong as a bugbear, and fearless. Course she also warned of side effects. Should have listened. Now I'm stuck guarding crates. And then some. Just hope this wears off soon.
Best be on my way.
Things to happen.
Bueno, vamos a curarla.
My legs! I can stand again! Did you do that? Thank you. Look, you're not really supposed to be here, but I'll turn a blind eye. Just don't touch anything, all right?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Never buying a potion. Back again.
Pave my path with corpses, build my castle with bones.
Let me out, you bunch of soft.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Your mind wanders. If the crossbow bolt shot through her mouth, would she taste the metal before she died?
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with. I'm not afraid. Chosen by the Absolute, I am. I'm blessed. Oh, I'll bless you, all right. Looks like the Absolute sent me a protector.
You're gonna kill him too?
You, move! You're right. I wish you weren't. I really do. Damn you. Damn it! Why do you care if a goblin lives or dies? Your soft heart will be the death of us. Gods, you're exhausting. Fine then.
It's all right, Arca. Let's go.
You're gonna be sorry! Every last one!
Believe it or not, but I witnessed a similar standoff back at the Yawning Portal. Of course, an establishment like that invites all sorts of outlandish entertainments. An inn in Waterdeep. Oh, never a dull moment there. Adventurers come from all over Faerun to try their luck down the well. Leads into the Undermountain, you see, full of death, danger, and vast amounts of treasure. Hard to resist. Oh, a drow, a dragonborn, and a cleric of Cyric walk into a bar. Your standard fare. Maybe someone was cheating at cards. Maybe it was some weird lover's quarrel. In any case, out came the crossbow, and a hush fell over the entire room. I stood up and yelled, "Shadow Dark Ale for everyone!" The crowd cheered. The tension drained into 6 tankards, and soon all was well again. In a place like the Yawning Portal, the most powerful magic is calling for a round of drinks. Mind you, all I did was call for ale, but you went and stood in front of that crossbow. Ah, drink to that.
Every last one of you!
Come on, open up.
Why'd you open my cage? Think we're gonna be friends? Too late for that, warg meat. My tribe's coming. They're gonna burn this pretty place for the glory of the Absolute and hang you by your guts. Think my tribe will care? They'll peel your face off and nail it to a wall. Unless you listen to me. I can save you. Help me escape, and I'll tell my mates to leave you alone. What do you say? We have a deal? Then hurry up and do it. My tribe ain't as friendly as I am. Happily, lead the way.
Bueno, ahora con mucho cuidado.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Glowing eyes are rarely a good sign. Best be careful.
Shut it! Boss would rip you for talking that way.
Boring. Let's find another.
Staying out of sight. The end comes.
Bad for one's back, this.
I have to survive this.
Oh, so much for peace. Can't slow down.
My faith will protect me. On the move. Victory awaits.
Gone with the weave. May it please Mistra.
Need to stay focused.
Bueno, aquí nos interesa hacer una cosa, que es irnos cuanto antes, sacar aquí a la Goblin.
Better not be cursed.
Vale.
Time to press ahead.
It's been a long day. Better stop to rest soon.
Thought I was never gonna get out of there. Good to be free again, gotta say. Never break a promise, unless there's something in it for me. I'll introduce you to my whole tribe and put in a good word for you. See you at the camp.
Bueno, vamos aquí.
And my kin will understand my need for servants. They will help you, but only if I ask.
This calls for careful footwork. One to choose.
Which way to the nearest library?
Better make my next move.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I thought I was gonna die down here. They were asking questions about a weapon. I told them the only weapons here are the ones the Foulbloods brought. I must tell the others what happened. I step careful. There are traps in these tunnels. And thank you again.
Another step forward.
Something over there.
Never wanted the easy path.
Enough waiting. I crave blood. My faith will guide me.
Your desire?
What's next, I wonder?
Can't give up now. Should mind my step.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood. What lies within?
Repositioning.
Estos barriles nos viene bien para matar a gente tocha.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
A trap. This place is more dangerous than I thought.
Oh, action, not reaction.
I will take my pick.
An efficient path.
Creo que no hay más, ¿no? No. Pues ya está.
Consider me intrigued.
I wonder what the next move is.
Still alive. So that's progress.
Bueno, vamos a descansar ya en el campamento, que yo creo que ya toca. Pero antes de descansar, vamos a mejorar la afinidad con todos los personajes. Hay que hablar con ellos.
A few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately. Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. Memory loss isn't usually a symptom of xeromorphosis. If it is, they've forgotten to write it down in any text I've read on the subject. Then again, our case isn't exactly usual. Perhaps whatever's causing our tadpoles to remain in stasis has also affected your mind. If xeromorphosis takes place, all trace of your former self will be subsumed into the Mind Flayer's hive. So, to still be here, if a mite forgetful, still a win in my book. We all have those from time to time. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's the first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about, so long as they remain fantasies.
These boots have seen everything.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevil Zariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in Privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind? My father once said, "One does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call." So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama, a staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it. All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree. Anger. I understand. We've been preyed on by illithids. Suffered insertion of a mind-bending worm. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one, if it's a devil or demon's flesh you're wanting to tear.
Some other purpose.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in my camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Because it is my calling, there is little else to explain. A matter of coin.
The Githyanki people have a word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Sathisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities. I expect I am your first. I suppose I am as alien to you as you are to me. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake. Decadent, then, lacking in economy, like so much of this world and its undisciplined people. I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less. Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. Because I do not intend to let this happen. Not to me, and if you stick with me, not to you. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass. Ceremorphosis takes all of you. Mind, body, soul. An ordinary tadpole would eat at your memories until they were lost to the void. But our tadpoles are far from ordinary. I wonder if another factor's in play. Many a good warrior savors the scent of blood in the air. There's no shame in a capricious murder now and again. Too many, though, and you waste energy and dull your weapon. My suggestion, attack with purpose and savor your kills. And if the urge proves too much, well, I'm sure we can find you a goblin or two to carve up.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get. There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. What can I say? They were eye-catching. Consider me an art lover. I understand why you ask, but memory loss is not as uncommon as you'd think. There may be other causes. We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little? Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith creche will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind. I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps, perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance. I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises? Fine. What's on your mind? I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises? Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think? Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
Is life but a waking death, or does it serve some other?
How can I help?
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious. Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk.
Bueno, vamos a descansar.
Very well.
A tingle runs through your head and down to your feet.
Ah, there it is. That shiver. Our little brainworms have made fast friends, it would seem. How do you feel? Surprising is just the word, isn't it? Before the Illithid's unscheduled surgery, I'd felled hundreds of beasts and a fair few fiends. The tadpoles weakened me, suppressed greater talents, but beyond that, I've showed no signs of turning. No nausea, no pain, not even a hot flash. Indeed, perhaps the worm's vat was poisoned. Perhaps we're uncommonly fit. Or perhaps the tadpoles are merely on holiday. We could conjecture all night. I suppose the why doesn't matter so much as the what next. And that answer is plain as the horns on a war devil's head. We get these things out. Let's get some rest. Dawn comes sooner than we think.
What's on your mind?
Finally, some good fortune. Come morning, we know what to do. The sooner we find the druid house in, the better. I can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head. The same. These parasites are proving suspiciously benign. But suppose I turn. What would you do? Wise. Though, I hope you'd miss me after I'm gone. I think I would if the positions were reversed. But you're right. If we're to make it through all this, there can be no room for hesitation. You're doing well. We should get some rest. Good night.
Galeg. I remember who I was in Kreshkalir. I was hungry to face my first Geich. My sword pined for their blood. Would that I were doing battle up there, among the tears. Next time you're able, look to the sky. Watch the moon cross it. The tears follow behind it. Rocky bodies tumbling through the sea of night. One of them is my Kresh. Kalir. Your curiosity is to be commended. Githyanki are hatched in Kreshes all throughout realm space. Kalir is one of many. It's there I first saw a Kithrak mount a red dragon. Where I slit my cousins' throats at the Vash's command. But enough of this. You are wasting your resting time. come dawn, we resume our search for a creche.
Bueno, vamos a descansar.
You know, I've been thinking, reflecting on what tomorrow might bring. When we find the druid, will he know how to bring the worm under control? Will this little adventure of ours be over? Why not? You've been to the Hells and back, survived the crash, survived everything that's followed. I'm not easily impressed by people, but you're stronger than I gave you credit for. Aren't you just? Sleep tight. I'll see you later. I'm sure.
Vamos a dormir. Bueno, pues hasta aquí llegamos con el gameplay 5. En el siguiente os voy a enseñar uno de los trucos más interesantes para sobrevivir en el modo honor y os lo explicaré todo para que lo entendáis de una manera muy fácil. Nos vemos.